Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to StarLink Pulse, this time with the Nutanix. Most of the companies are suffering from data center complexity, scalability, and flexibility. And to overcome such challenges, today my guest is Bassel Kassem, the Regional Sales Director for Nutanix. Hello, Bassel.
Pleasure, Samir. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, and welcome to StarLink Pulse.
Really appreciate it.
Everyone knows that Nutanix is very well known as a hyper-converged infrastructure solution. Could you please inform us and the audience what Nutanix currently offering to the market?
Sure. Thank you, Samir, for asking this question. So we've traditionally been known as the HCI vendor, and we currently lead all the charts, if you like to look at whether being Forrester or Gartner charts on the HCI. But what's important is to notice that Nutanix has been shifting a little bit its focus and going beyond HCI. We started as a company offering HCI, and that was definitely a hype in the market if I look at 3 to 5 years ago. However, today we see HCI as becoming only a platform to enable a much smarter data center operation to address the points that you mentioned around complexity, simplicity, and scalability. And this is very important to change how we view Nutanix. So the way we come across today is a software-defined data center enabling platform with our HCI and with our leading HCI solution. However, looking beyond HCI, I believe it's very important that customers see Nutanix in a different view. And this is where we have brought a lot of these features around, simplicity of the operation, reducing the complexity, the ability to automate your data center, the ability to secure the data center, which is very important. We've recently, of course, and I think this is one of the points we'll probably discuss later, recently launched our ability to also act as a multi-cloud platform that enables.
Yeah, I have a specific question about the
Definitely. I think many of our customers are actually looking at this subject.
Absolutely. So back to this question. So recently we have seen that Nutanix made some serious actions towards the hybrid clouds or multi-cloud solutions. How do you see the market readiness when it comes to our region here?
This is a very important question. I believe the market is very excited about the public cloud. We see a lot of the customers actually looking at going even all cloud. And if I probably look at Europe, we've seen this trend start maybe three years ago, and a lot of the customers actually went either with full cloud or with a major part of their workloads onto the cloud. However, what's very important is we're seeing many of those customers either shifting their strategy slightly, some of them are coming back and looking into the private cloud. We are seeing almost 85% of the people who went to the public cloud looking at, I would say, a mix of clouds. So they still want to keep their private cloud for reasons of cost, performance.
Absolutely. So the hybrid model is still the most wanted choice for all customers, I believe.
We truly believe the hybrid is going to be the leading model.
Yeah.
And this is where we launched our what we call Xi clusters or Nutanix clusters, which enables you to implement Nutanix both on your premise and off-premise on these clouds. We started with AWS, we launched Azure, we have more plans to integrate.
And what we always hear from Nutanix, any software, any hardware, and any cloud.
Absolutely.
Right? So such flexibility from Nutanix differentiates Nutanix amongst the competition. Could you please elaborate here more about this?
I think this is a very important point, Samir, that you bring out, because we've made, as Nutanix, we made several transitions over the past 3 years where we moved. Our first transition was to move from an appliance-based company to a software company. This was implemented over 2 years ago, where we decided to detach ourselves completely from hardware for multiple reasons. We didn't want to be seen as an appliance company, we want to be a software company. But what's important is to enable our customers to have the freedom of choice when coming to pick a hardware platform. You know, they want some customers have existing contracts with different hardware vendors. Some people, you know, have a preference, historic preferences. We did not want to be seen as a hardware company as opposed to becoming a Nutanix, a software-only company.
Absolutely.
Now, the second transition we did is we wanted to also give the experience of the cloud that most of our customers are having today. And this is where we moved into our second transition from a software-only company to a subscription-based company, where we started offering our customers subscription-based licensing.
Amazing. Amazing.
And that actually allowed our customers to move freely between not only hardware platforms. So today, if you buy a subscription for Nutanix, you can put it today on a server from company X, and tomorrow you can move into a different server, and eventually you can take that subscription and push some of it, or if
Absolutely.
not all of it.
If you allow me to ask you, during the past few months, all companies started to look at business continuity because of the COVID-19.
True.
How Nutanix managed to help customers to go through this trend?
Or many of our customers realized that they need to create contingency plans, whether it's on the backup side, on disaster. And what's important is we've seen a very big trend on end-user computing and remote workforce, which created, I would say there was a trigger for a complete transformation in the way most of our companies are doing their operation or their business. Now they wanted less hands-on touch. They don't want their employees to be in the data center doing operation on their laptops. They wanted the ability to run remotely without affecting their operations. They want zero touch, if not, probably not zero touch, but something close to that when it comes to operating their cloud. It has triggered a big discussion around public cloud migration and how to use AWS or Azure. And I think all of these have played towards the favor of Nutanix, because we've been promoting that concept of, you know, automation, zero-touch operation, the simplicity in the data center, your ability to enable this disaster recovery or on your prem or off your prem. And what's very important is we've been traditionally seen as a big enabler for end-user computing, whether you look at the leading solutions in the market with Citrix or any other vendors, but definitely something that has been triggered heavily in the COVID-19, and we've been playing a major role into enabling that infrastructure.
Very true, very true. Bassel, thank you very much.
You are most welcome, Samer. Thank you for hosting me.
Thank you very much. And with StarLink, I believe everyone is very happy for having Nutanix part of our portfolio.
It's our pleasure.
And of course for having you today as well.
It's our pleasure to be part of StarLink.
Many thanks.
Thank you very much.